And the United States is rattled with India's response to Trump's sanctions, and White House trade advisors made it pretty evident. Peter Navarro ramped up his criticism of India's Russian oil imports, accusing New Delhi of financing Russia's war in Ukraine and dubbing the conflict Modi's war. Navarro claimed that India's purchase of discounted Russian oil has fueled Moscow's aggression and burdened American taxpayers, while saying that India could get a 25% reduction in US tariffs if it stops buying Russian oil. Navarro's remarks come as President Donald Trump's 50% tariff on Indian goods took effect on Wednesday, a move designed to punish India of its continued purchase of Russian crude in spite of Western pressure. Meanwhile, House Foreign Affairs Committee has criticized Trump administration for sanctions on India. The Democrats have said instead of imposing sanctions on China or others purchasing larger amounts of Russian oil, Trump's singling out India with tariffs, hurting Americans, and sabotaging US-India relationship in this process. All right, I'm in fact going to go straight across to Bill Draxel for more on that story. Thank you so much for your time. I want to begin by asking, will there be a trade deal because we are at the moment getting mixed signals really from the US administration? One side, they seem to be suggesting that they do believe India and US a strong relationship, but it's very complicated, isn't it? On the other side, we have these statements which are now labeling the Russia-Ukraine war as the war of the Prime Minister of our country.
I think it's certainly possible. Again, it's so hard to predict this administration. It really deliberately, to a degree, tries to remain unpredictable, and it's been very successful in remaining unpredictable. I think that there's a chance that that Prime Minister Modi and President Trump could meet on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in just a few weeks. I think there's a chance that that might not happen. It's very hard to extrapolate, and in as far as this comment from Navarro was unexpected, we could see still more unexpected things in the opposite direction. It's very hard to project. What would be the best thing, I think, would be for the highest levels of the government, of the two governments, to talk directly. That is, President Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I hope that we'll see this as a blip, even if it is a longer or more prolonged rough patch. Ultimately, the interests that are driving the US and India together are not changing. So long term, I think we can still be bullish that the two countries will have to, and indeed will want to, even if it looks unlikely at this exact present moment. We need to figure out a way out of this downward spiral we're in at the moment.
Well, thank you for joining in with your views and your perspective on that important development, that important story that we are tracking.